The royal tradition continues. Welcome everyone to DRF Watch as we continue our trek towards this year's Queen's Plate. Super exciting, less than 4 weeks to go. Not a lot of movement on the top 10 board, in fact, absolutely none, but there are some big races coming up this weekend. With more on that, let's turn things over to Ron Gierkink from the Daily Racing Forum.
When my colleague Alex Campbell reported a few days ago that Avies Flatter was going to pass up the trial and train right up to the plate, the floodgates opened up for the plate trial stakes, and it drew 9, including 3 maidens. Federal Law is a 9-5 morning line favorite off a troubled win in the Queenston Stakes. He's stretching back out from 7/8 to a 1.1 miles, and maybe he's a little vulnerable in this race because his route races this year haven't been great. Dundrum is the second choice at 5-2 off a closing third in the Queenston, and he's going to maybe what could be his best distance. And Jam Still, I think, is the up-and-comer in the field. He's adding Lasix off a troubled second in Allowance Company. And Kevin Attard worked him 3/4 in 12 and change the other day. It was a super work. I think he's got a lot of potential.
Lot to think about, Ron. And of course, the plate trial scheduled as race number 8 on Saturday, the first leg of the late pick 4. The second leg, well, no slouch either. It is the Woodbine Oaks presented by Budweiser, and that is an amazing field. Ron will give us more information on what we need to know about this year's Oaks.
Yeah, the Oaks came up as a terrific betting race. Maybe not the greatest quality in terms of Oaks fields over the past few years, but Bold Script, the 5-2 favorite, she had excuses last time, and when she was third as the even money favorite in Celine, I think she could run better this time. She was a big winner of the Princess Elizabeth last year with an 83 buyer. Mark Cassidy entered 3. I think all 3 of them have a chance, including Speedy Soul, who's going long for the first time, but she's bred to go the 1.1 miles on the dam side, especially. Hasta La Vista Baby was second to Speedy Soul last time in the Fury, and she was also second the last time she went long in the Ontario Lassie. And then Preferred Guest is coming off a pretty good second in the Celine, which is maybe not the strongest Celine field we've seen in a while, but she's interesting. And then the wild card in the race is Desert Ride. She's shipping up from Kentucky, made all 3 of her starts on turf for Neil Howard and Samson Farm. The fact that she hasn't raced on synthetic or even worked on synthetic is a big negative going into the Oaks. Only Holy Helena in the last 13 or 12 years has won the Oaks without a synthetic race, and she even had to work before it. So she might be better off down the line on the turf, but it's an interesting field, and great second leg to the pick 4.
Hang on to those fascinators as the action continues to heat up on the road to the Queen's Plate. Head over to Twitter. It is your chance to give us your opinion. You did it last week, and the question was about the fillies, and we want to thank you for those answers. This week's poll will be about who do you want to see moving into the top 10? Very prestigious list. So have your say on Twitter at the Woodbine TB account. Lots more to come as we head towards the 160th running of the Queen's Plate on DRF Watch.